In this video, we're going to be breaking down a recent client purchase. We're going to be running through the purchase price, the cost of renovations, and the end value once the project was complete, as well as sharing with you the before and after shots of the photos and the before and after in terms of the rental income. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to reveal to you the specific address of this property so you can look it up yourself. If you get massive value out of my content, I would really appreciate it if you can drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in working with myself, head over to purposeproperty.com.au to book in a free strategy session. Now, let's walk through this property when it was a bombshell. This property is located on the south side of Brisbane in Logan City Council, and it's on over 1,000 square meters. Now, the unique thing about a 1,000 square meter block is it gives you options. As you can see here, there is drivable side access all the way down to the rear of the property, which means longer term you can look at subdivision if you can get your placements right of the lots, or you can look at the granny flat potential of the property. As you step into the home, you can see it has high lofted ceiling. These cathedral ceilings are great from a tenant's point of view because hot air rises in Brisbane in this market, and it also gives you that sense of space when you walk into a room or a living room like this with those cathedral ceilings. You can see here that the space was very cluttered. All the windows were covered up on this property, and they were actually covered up multiple times over. I think this person was a bit scared of light, to be honest, because every window in this property had a roller blind, it had a Venetian, it was full on. But you can see here, it's got a modern aircon already installed. A dark wall doesn't do this space justice because it's making this space even darker than it needs to be. And as you can see, the carpets are a little bit worse for wear. This gives you a reverse shot showing you a little courtyard outside that does need some gurning and some weed picking, and again, a paint job will go a long way. As you walk through, this is the original entry of the home. You walk through the living space in towards the kitchen area, and as you can see from this photo, it is very cluttered. There was wallpaper that was falling off the walls. The floors weren't in great condition. There's a very basic light fixture up here. It's not well presented at all. Now, if you're going to sell your own home, don't sell it like this, but we'll buy it if you're going to present it like this, because this gives us more negotiating power. If the property is not well presented, it's going to appeal to less buyers, especially because the bulk of the market are owner occupiers. And so they generally want a move-in ready and a well-presented property. Property like this, which was poorly looked after, presented an opportunity for myself and my clients to pick up the right deal here. You can see here they have a barn door for the pantry, and they have a loft space with a ladder, which we had to work around a unique solution to make this rental safe. And as you can see in the kitchen here, there's a bit of mold and mildew and some dirt, a bit of damage around the trims, and the kitchen's not well presented at all. This is a shot of that loft or storage space, and you can see there's an opening at the top, which we want to address down the track, but quite a unique thing to have in a property where you've got a loft space. So I thought it was very interesting for a study or a bonus space if someone was looking to rent the home. This gives you a really good shot of the kitchen, which shows that the kitchen is actually quite modern. If you remove everything from this picture and you can see past all of the clutter, the kitchen itself actually presents really well, which is a big thing to look for when you're buying a property. Your most expensive areas to renovate are going to be the kitchen and the bathroom. So if you can find a place with a fantastic kitchen and bathroom and everything else is horrendous, those types of properties can be gold if you don't have to spend money on those areas. This gives you a shot of the hallway down towards the bedrooms, and a big shot of the pantry, which is quite full at this point in time. This was the laundry space, which again had some cleaning needed to it. As you can see, it's quite messy here. The bathroom is tired. That sink needed to be replaced, and that was one of the things we did in the client renovations. As you can see, everything needs a deep clean, a full repaint, and new flooring. And the bedrooms are pretty similar. They've got flaky ceiling paint, things stuck on the walls, and not correct curtains, not useful curtains up here as well. The bathroom tub was actually okay. Now you can replace the vanity and keep the bathroom tub in this example, and that's a way to cheaply upgrade the bathroom. This is a shot of the master bedroom, which had wallpaper on the walls. You can see the windows and doors are pretty much boarded up here. This is a sliding door, and there's some other small windows off to the side. And there is a small separate shower, which looked okay as it is. This is the third and final bedroom, which is more of the same, which shows clutter. You can see a bit of flaking paint on the ceiling up the top here. And again, windows which need correct roller blinds on them. So now you've seen the basic photos of the home from a realistic walkthrough. What do you think? A property on 1,000 square meters, south side of Brisbane, 3 bed, 1 bath, 2-car carport space. What do you think that would go for in today's market? Well, we were able to pick this property up for $650,000. Now, the exciting thing is the clients were keen to do a renovation with us. They put their trust in myself and the team to help them buy, build, and grow their property portfolio. So working with our clients on this project, we were able to handle all the renovations for them. And they had a total budget of $60,000. What we ended up doing for the clients was a full renovation. We completely repainted the inside and the outside of the home. We had new flooring put throughout the property. We had the electricals upgraded for ceiling fans in each of the bedrooms. Handyman do a bunch of work on the door handles and upgrade those areas. So let's take a walk through the property now, and then we can share with you the address and the current rental income. What a transformation, I might say. This is that living area that we were showing in the first few photos. As you can see, it's been fully repainted. That is that black or almost navy timber slat wall that was dark blue, and that's now been fully repainted white with the aircon above. We could keep those light fixtures. They were actually in quite good condition. They present really well. We painted the cathedral ceiling white and kept the beam in the middle with that timber look. And left the brick wall because if you paint brick, it is quite porous and it would take a lot of paint and then require maintenance over the long term if you do paint the brickwork. So I think this space came up amazing. We've got a mid-grey on the floor in terms of the carpet with a nice ply, and I think this space has come up fantastic from what those initial photos were. As you move through the home, you can see this space is so much better presented. We also did a big cleanup job outside because there was just some debris and timber and rubbish, and there were actually even some termites, live termites, living in some firewood outside, which we had dealt with our regular building and pest inspectors. As you move through the home, we had the slate floors polished and cleaned in the end. These weren't actually cleaned for the photos because we were trying to move and get this property on the rental market. And you can see we put a gate at the top of the landing space to make it safer for people using the ladder and using the space. We also put hooks on the ladder to enable it to be removed if people want to have that space cleared. You can see that the kitchen has just been tidied up and left, and this was a great way for the clients to save money. And the clients did a bit of basic floor repairs with the tiles. Yes, the floor tiles don't match, but this is just a rental property. It's not an owner-occupied residence. We're looking to get a reasonable or quite strong rental yield actually in the end on this home and make it nice for tenants, but it doesn't have to be perfect. As we move throughout the home, you can see a shot of that space where all the dingy wallpaper was there. But because of the budget, we left that light fixture up there. It gave nice light. It is what it is. As we move through the bedrooms, these are major transformations. We've got a new ceiling fan with a downlight. We've got roller blinds, white walls, and the ceiling flaking is all but gone. As we move through to the bathroom, we've added that new vanity. We've kept the rest of the bathroom largely, and the space is presenting really well for the cost. Again, with the other bedrooms, new roller blinds, paint throughout, new ceiling fans and lights and carpets, and the master looks fantastic. It's got a lot of light coming in. I love these casement windows which slide up or down. You can let a lot of airflow through the property now. If you open the sliding door and open these windows, you'll get cross breeze galore in this master bedroom, and you can have your master bed over here on this main wall. So I think this space has come up really well. The laundry, we didn't do a lot of work in. We left this space, painted it, left the floors, and off you go. And you can see the exterior has been painted up in a light grey, and that's just to seal the timbers. The exterior was actually a dark green, which really brought the colour and the feel down. And these timbers were needing a good paint. They were soaking up the paint, and that's going to protect the timber for the long term. This gives you a wide shot of the front, and you can see there's drivable side access up the left-hand side. There's room to put a separate carport out the front here. You can see the neighbour's fence draws all the way down this fence line, and this is actually where the front of the property is. So down the track, they could add a second carport out the front. They could have two driveways, one either side of the property, and put a granny flat down the side. And because this is a 1,000 square metre block, they can build a 100 square metre granny flat at this point in time based on Logan City Council rules. So you'd have to check with a town planner, and that's what we do in our business at Purpose Property. We work closely with a town planner when we're looking at these types of properties to make sure they tick council's criteria. But you've got to run your own checks and balances when you're looking at your own investments. You can see a shot of the large backyard spaces that are available. Lots of room in the backyard. and there's spaces either side of the home. This is a shot of the other side of the home with that massive yard space where I would generally suggest you'd put a granny flat in this example. So I've been really impressed by the transformation of the home. For $60,000, the client had a major transformation and they didn't have to deal with a lot of the legwork. We handled it internally with myself and our connections and trade teams here on the ground here in Southeast Queensland, and I think they got a fantastic outcome. Now, let me reveal to you the address of this property. The property is located at 5 Juxon Street in Hillcrest, and it's a 3-bed, 1-bath, 2-car on that 1,000 square meters. If you take a look at the numbers, the property was rented out for $595 per week, and the initial rental appraisal was around $490 per week, so the clients were able to achieve a $100 per week uplift based on the renovations. Now you might be thinking, $100 a week, that's going to take forever for them to pay off a $60,000 renovation. Now, what you're missing is the ability to depreciate those renovations. So that $60,000 renovation can now be depreciated. A quantity surveyor can go through the home, mark up all of the work that was done, and then they can depreciate on that value of the renovation. The other thing that you might be missing is the capital improvements. You don't just get an extra $5,000 a year in rent. You also get the value of the property, which they'd be all in this case, because they paid $650,000 for the home, they'd be all in for $710,000 in terms of the cost of the property plus the renovations. Now, if you look at the market value of this type of property on this block size, based on its condition, it would sell for between $750,000 up to that $800,000 mark at this point in time. There's even some recent sales around that $830,000 mark on smaller blocks, on around 700 square meters in the same area. So with the clients going through the process, they've been able to pick up 1,004 square meters for $650,000. Through our network and relationships with the agent, we were able to secure the property and we were able to organize the renovations for that $60K. So they've been able to increase at minimum the property by the amount they spent, so around $50,000 to $60,000, or at most they've been able to get a 3x return on their spend and increase by $120,000 to $180,000. Now that's not just all the renovations. The market has continued to grow while they've done this work. So it's important to note that it's not just the renovations that have increased the property's value over time. It's about buying a property that's a scarce asset with the property ticking those base fundamentals. Now our slogan at Purpose Property is to buy the right property for the right price in the right location. Now, for my clients in this scenario, the right property was a property that they could add value to. The right property was a property in a location that had fundamentals for capital growth, as well as the ability to add a granny flat or even look at a knockdown subdivision in the future. Now, because we were able to find this property, negotiate with the agent and secure the property for the right price, this was the right property for them. Now, if you're looking to buy a property within 40 kilometers of Brisbane in the next 6 months, head over to purposeproperty.com.au to book in a free session with myself. We'll sit down and chat about what the right property is for you, whether it's your own home or whether it's an investment, and leave some time for some questions through our chat. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this investment property in the comments down below. And if you could drop a like on this video for sharing all the detail with you, that would really help me out. If you want to see a full playlist of me breaking down recent client purchases, make sure you click this playlist